So what's the topic?
Well, let me do the intros and shit first, and then we'll, have you ever been on a podcast?
No.
Oh, I have. They suck. They all fucking suck, and this one's going to suck too. I'm terrible at advertising. Whoever's listening to this, change the channel now, man. Podcasts are terrible. I'm sure this one will be great, Clayton. Sorry I said that. I'll shut up. I haven't slept for a month.
Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, welcome to the Unusual Suspects podcast. My name is Clayton T. Stewart, and joining me, as always, is...
Are we really going to call it that? That's a shitty name. I guess we're pod committed at this point, eh? Nelson Mayer. That's my name.
Just
fighting
me every single step.
Yep.
And rounding out our trifecta of whatever.
Eric Hazelhurst. The necessary white guy.
The Oreo cream to our cracker.
Token.
Like a native cracker?
Shut up, Eric. So this is the our first attempt at a podcast. We'll see if this actually makes it to the internet. It might be good, it might be terrible, and no one may hear it other than us. So,
Which might be good.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. But if you're joining us, you've heard of us, you've seen our YouTube page and our Facebook page. Thank you for liking that and subscribing. Please share it with your friends. I think that's all the needless shilling we have to do up at the top.
Yeah, except make sure to watch the Dancing Fools video and like it so that Clayton and Eric can open a show at the River Creek Casino in January.
Yes, 2,000 likes. That's all it costs.
On YouTube. That's the key thing, not Facebook.
Yeah, there's no monetary involvement. We're not raising money on Patreon. We're just asking you to click that little thumbs up-y thing.
We're raising awareness for post-traumatic stress disorder by getting likes on our YouTube videos.
Well, since we've gone into that, let's just talk about that for a bit. I know it's kind of gotten a, controversial start this year. But as some of you may or may not know, there is a 22-day challenge to raise awareness for post-traumatic stress disorder. Some of our friends have been doing it. Most remarkably, Mark Robert has been creeping out everybody with his daily live streams of him grunting.
Yeah, and he's doing them in a playground, and I thought he wasn't allowed within 50 yards of those places. So that kind of freaked me out.
And it's better than him on the teeter-totter swing there. That was weird. That was really weird.
He enjoyed being there. I don't think he was supposed to.
I also don't think it counts with him because he's been touching the ground nonstop. Like, he doesn't do a push-up. He's like laying down.
He's been doing lay-downs.
Yeah. 22 belly flops in a row to raise awareness for, hey, I should have swept the floor.
And he also was doing an intensity camera. It looked like he was having sex with whoever watched the video.
That was a mistake. That camera from what I call the rapey position was a little much. But so what do you guys think about this? Do you think this will actually raise awareness for PTSD?
Yep.
Well, I Look at Nelson.
Wow.
Just threw a fucking curveball at you. No, you know what? I already talked about this earlier today. I got in a little bit of trouble because I posted online. It was just a joke. That's the thing. I make jokes on Facebook, and I don't remember what I said.
Hold on. Comedians make jokes online?
It's a weird thing. What the fuck did I say? Eric, do you remember? I don't remember what I said.
It was something about how it's pretty much as useless as an ASL Ice Bucket Challenge, and it's not really going to change the world, but look at me because I'm an egomaniac like Mark.
Yeah, man, something like that. You know, I don't care. That's the thing. I'm indifferent. I'm not really that invested in it. Somebody got offended by my comment, and we had a little back and forth a little bit. Yeah. Oh, because they were saying the ALS thing created a dramatic breakthrough in ALS research, and I went and did a quick Google research and determined that it didn't. Yes, they raised a lot of money for ALS, and that's fantastic, but it didn't fucking make any breakthrough, and at the end of the day, it's a drop in the bucket in terms of the amount of funding that they need for research. That's all that I was saying, and I don't really give a shit. If people want to do push-ups, I think more of that kind of stuff is a vanity project. Look at me, I'm doing push-ups, I'm saving the world one look at me video at a time. Well, and that's all my point was. I don't really give a shit. If people want to do it, go ahead and have fun. But when it comes to doing push-ups for any goddamn reason, I won't even do it to save my own goddamn feet from diabetes. So I'm not going to be doing it to save somebody from post-traumatic stress disorder.
Well, that was my main thrust. Like, I just refused to do it because
you can't do a push-up. Number one. I refuse. It's a protest. I'm protesting these push-ups. I will not do it because they're taking advantage of me. And I'm a sweaty bitch and I can't do one.
That too.
Okay, what was your topic?
So on the inaugural podcast, I want to sort of dredge up some recent controversy, not the ALS challenge or the PTSD challenge. I want to talk about a good friend of yours, actually.
Uh-oh.
And by good, I mean you've met them. Leslie Jones.
Okay, yeah.
Leslie Jones.
All right.
Lovely woman that was recently in the 2016 Ghostbusters remake.
Yes.
Too much controversy there. But I wanted to ask what your opinion was of Leslie getting hacked and her nudes being leaked all over the internet.
Oh, I didn't see that, and I'm a gross pig. And whenever I hear that somebody's naked, I want to go and see it. I'm sorry, and I know that's rude. It's like there was a bunch of celebrities that were leaked a long time ago, right? I don't know what that was. Yeah, and everybody was
quick.
Yeah. He had a name for it.
He's like, this is the information right now.
No, I think just clarify that was the official name given to the hack.
I think you named it that claim because you're a gross pig. Now here's the thing: people are like, that's somebody. One of my feminist friends was equating it with rape if you go and look at these pictures because you don't have. But it's there. If I'm walking by a window and there's a naked person, I'm going to take a look. If I stand there staring, then I'm a creepy bastard and a pervert. But, I like naked women. I'm sorry. And if there's a celebrity, even if they're not attractive, I kind of want to know what that's going to be like. Like, I heard that Screech did a sex tape.
Yeah.
I went and watched that shit. All of a sudden, I didn't realize how badly I wanted to see some Screech dong. But as soon as I heard he had a fucking sex tape, I got to see this, right? It's just like when you're driving by a car accident, you slow down to see if there's any carnage, right? I want to see Screech. I watched Beetlejuice. You know Beetlejuice, the Howard Stern Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
I watched the sex tape with Beetlejuice. It's a thing. So now that I know that Leslie Jones has been leaked. That's actually, it's ignorant as fuck. I recognize that. Here's a fine line. I don't know what you want to say here.
Okay, well let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Let's start.
I'm all ADHD a little bit right now. I'm twitchy.
Let's start with how you know Leslie from. Let's start there.
From the Comedy Store. Back in the day, I used to hang out at the Comedy Store quite a bit. I used to go to LA 4 or 5 times a year, and that's all I would do while I was there is hang out. And a good friend of mine, Don Barris, is one of the hosts there. I also worked for Jimmy Kimmel, and he helped me get on stage the very first time ever. So I managed to meet a lot of comics while I was down there, and Leslie was one of them. She was a regular there, so I would chat with her after shows. She was a great person. Really got along with her well. Stayed in touch via Facebook a little bit, to the point where I think she might remember me. Mm-hmm. I sent her a message when the whole Ghostbusters thing was announced. She got it, congratulating her, and she seemed to, hey, thanks, whoever the hell you are, right?
Yeah.
Or, thanks, I remember you from back in the day. She's been friendly with me. She chats with me on Facebook from time to time, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, surprisingly good movie, Ghostbusters. I was quite pleasantly shocked that
you thought this is gonna suck because they have vaginas.
Yes, I was one of the misogynistic bastards. No, I was just more upset that it wasn't tying into the originals. Like, it could be a whole female cast. I wanted that tie-in, and they kind of did it. They kind of had the old cast in there, so I was all right with that.
Yeah,
but otherwise,
surprising twist: the old cast all has vaginas now.
I haven't seen it, so that's like a spoiler for me.
That would have been great.
Bill Murray.
So that whole thing, I didn't know that somebody leaked Leslie Jones nudes. I think that's fucked up when somebody does that.
Yeah, I'll give you some of the context. As you know, when Ghostbusters came out, there was a lot of flack from quote-unquote true fans of Ghostbusters and all that crap for the it's not them, it's not the third in the...
People are retarded. It is what it is. Everybody was concerned because they had vaginas. That's all it comes down to. It's like, you have a vagina, you can't fucking clean. That's where the misogynistic mind should have went. Is like, holy shit, give them vacuums. They're going to suck up ghosts instead of dust bunnies. I'm surprised that this was a fucking issue for these assholes. Sorry to go. I'm just saying, it wasn't an issue for me. It honestly wasn't. I didn't give a shit. I went and saw the movie.
We should stop right here and just say
this is the end of Nelson's career. No, I'm not misogynist. I'm saying those guys were jerk-offs, right? Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of stupidity online. And the crux of all stupidity, as it usually is, happened on Twitter. Yeah. And Leslie had to deal with a lot of very dumb people.
I thought that's what you're going to talk about when you threw this fucking nude photo thing at me, because a lot of people were posting ignorant as fuck things, calling her a monkey and all kinds of racist shit, and that was fucking terribly disgusting, and nobody should have to go through that. Here's the problem, though. I mean, this is day and age. People have the voices. They have the access to the internet. They're going to say dumb shit, and as much as it's, easy for us to say let it roll off your back and move on, I mean, when you're faced with that constantly, I don't know how I'd react. Yeah. I'm glad she reacted the way she did. She brought attention to it, right?
That's true.
So, good adding.
I got nothing to add in, okay? I haven't watched the movie. I haven't been following Ghostbusters. There's really no point in me in this conversation. Fuck you for doing this as your topic. You fucker.
Love it. So yeah, there was a lot of stupidity online, and Leslie, rightfully so, went to bat. And as sort of a reaction to her actually, standing up for herself and calling these idiots out for their racism and stupidity, someone hacked her iCloud or whatever, wherever you store online stuff. And of course, as most people do, have nudes on there for special moments and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And a few of hers were leaked officially on, like they rewrote her home webpage.
Okay. It's not like a hypocrite for a second.
Mm-hmm.
All kidding aside, that first part, very funny, joking.
Yeah.
I don't really feel that way. I think that's sick that somebody leaked her pictures. I think that you hear about, this is a comedy podcast, I don't want to be too serious, but let's go for a split second, okay? The young girl, Amanda Todd, somebody posted pictures of her online, and she ended up killing herself because this is what happens when you do this kind of shit, right? Yeah. So I think people, it's really disgusting that you do this to somebody. I don't know what I want to add to that. That's fucked up, Clayton. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm not going to go and search for Leslie Jones naked, and I don't think anybody else should.
Cool. Well, I just thought it was a very interesting thing. I mean, when I found out that you knew Leslie, like, shortly after the movie came out, we were talking about it, and you were discussing stuff with her on Facebook. That was so cool. So then I thought I just wanted to get your opinion and see what you thought about.
Yeah, but having said that, if Leslie wants to send me nudes, I will take a look. And then if she's listening to this, if you want me to see it, I'll see it. Absolutely, I like to know what people look like naked. I want to see Clayton's dong. It's a thing. It's reality.
Yeah, it's a weird obsession that you still have.
Yeah, I'm a bad man.
I've come close to seeing it. You don't want to see it.
Yeah, it was right up there.
Oh yeah.
Watch
the Dancing Fools video.
Watch the Dancing Fools. You'll understand why it was right up there. He tried to thrust it into my face.
I just tried to bap him on the tip of the nose. You know what I mean?
It's pretty bad.
Bad dog.
Because I could actually we picked
to another topic that I don't have, by the way. So.
Well, we can talk about celebrities and autoerotic asphyxiation.
This has been sort of a kick with you recently. So.
It has been. I'm a little obsessed with it. I'm just wondering, I'm curious about this whole thing with celebrities and how they die from autoerotic asphyxiation. I think more of them have died than they let on, right? Because there's that Robert Carradine Kung Fu guy, right?
Yeah.
And then there was,
famously,
who else? That In Excess guy? Jerked off all over himself, tied a belt around his neck. It's the thing he did. And then I know they didn't admit it, but I'm convinced that Robin Williams died that way. And people are just starting to wise up. They're like, oh, shit. It's kind of embarrassing to have our celebrities die in this way. We can't say that Aladdin died jerking off with a belt tied around his neck, so we're just going to say that he killed himself. He was depressed. Maybe he was, and that's how he cheered himself up. I don't know. I just assume that he probably was beaten off with a belt tied around his neck. Okay? Now, here's my thing. I think if you're a celebrity and doing that, you have the money. Why not hire a fucking spotter?
Yeah.
Okay, but what happens if they had a spotter for a while? They got good at it. They're like, well, fuck, why am I paying this guy? I know what I'm doing. And then that's when
doesn't matter how good you get at it. You have to have
overconfidence, right? Because people do that in the gym. They get overconfident. They don't have to spar as much.
I think Eric's just trying to talk himself out of having to buy a spotter again.
Just saying, I'm convinced though that it's a thing. It's a thing in Hollywood now. When you become famous, you have to jerk off with a belt tied around your neck, and maybe it's a club that they have. Maybe it's a club. So I'm gonna start doing it now. It's like
the token stroke.
I'm auditioning, right? I want to be a member of your club. Stroke. And I need a spotter right now, but I can't afford to hire a professional. So the job's up for grabs if one of you guys is ever free on a Saturday night.
That sounds like a really messed up version of The Secret. You know how they say you gotta sort of mentally focus on your future and the future that you want.
Yeah.
If you believe it, you become it, that kind of thing.
A friend of mine read that book, and she was posting up pictures of sailboats and stuff all over her house because she wanted sailboats and money and shit. She told me about this, and I just had hustlers, centerfolds all over my place. Just
extra belts strewn about.
You got really old porn at your house. We can talk about that. That's a thing I discovered today that you probably don't want to talk about. Clayton has really old porn at his house.
It's just... Okay, so recently I moved, and I don't know, I was just doing some redecorating because I've never had to decorate anywhere before, and so I threw all my old Playboys in the washer.
Conspicuously hetero cover. I'm not gay. I'm going to sprinkle a couple of these old Playboys in between all my comic book and Men's Health magazines.
Well, I was following Eric's example. Eric told me about how to be super straight.
No, I didn't say that.
Let's talk about super straight.
I was telling him a story about how this gay guy
This is going to go off the rails already.
Said that his fantasy was to have sex with me and my 2 other brothers at once, but he didn't think he would get that because he thought I was the super straight one out of the 3. Because that's what he said.
You jerked off a tranny once.
He doesn't know that.
Are you the super straight one?
We might be breaking news to this guy.
Yeah, and at the same time, I mean, one of my brothers did like mess around with him, so
that's no big deal, man.
So I mean, like, he knows he has a better chance with that brother than he does with me.
That's some incest shit, though.
He called you super straight?
He did. I know you don't believe shit I say.
No, not at all. But because you told me.
Yeah. That was funny because you had like Playboy, and I think it's kind of ironic that as far as men's porno mags go, Playboy's pretty gay. I understand. I think they cut the nudity out of that magazine too now, right?
They did. There's a now non-nude.
So now what is it for? Reading?
Apparently.
Who the hell reads porn?
It's supposed to be to look at celebrities in bathing suits.
Isn't that called Maxim?
I thought that was just the internet.
Is that still a magazine? Yeah. Maxim?
I don't know if there are still actual physical magazines. Like,
ain't they just websites now?
Yeah, I was like, do people print that stuff anymore? Is that even a media type out there? Good Lord. I mean, my Playboys are old because they were like special editions I got way back in the day.
I just go to the free porn sites because they have those little like 1-minute clips, and that's all I ever need.
Also, he got like a Trish Stratus Playboy because he heard that she was coming into town, so he thought that would be the best thing for her to sign.
Really, that's creepy, man. Was that a real thing? You were gonna bring her a Playboy and be like, sign this? Because you're naked and you're rubbing your nipples while you ask for it.
Yeah,
I don't think that's
let's
cool.
Take story advice from Super Straight over here.
Super Straight.
Such believable stories from him.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's all we got really.
20 minutes is long enough for a podcast because these get boring.
Well, for the first one, anyways. I'm sure we'll have structure and actual things to talk about. But,
fuck structure, chaos.
Otherwise, go to our YouTube page, The Unusual Suspects on YouTube. We're also on Facebook, so go there, like, subscribe. Stay tuned for more wild and zany antics. Also, if you're in the Winnipeg area of a Sunday, Nelson runs a open mic show at Shannon's Pub.
Sometimes I'm even there.
Sometimes. It depends. But Performance Anxiety happens every Sunday at 175 Carlton Avenue. So come on down for a wacky good time full of Irish music and bad jokes.
Also, September 29th, the Unusual Suspects are opening up for James Uloff at the same place, Shannon's Pub.
Yeah, that's going to be a great show.
Yeah,
how did that happen, by the way?
He asked me. I said, yeah. and now we're doing a thing. He's like, hey, you want to do a ting? And I was like, yeah, I like doing tings. So let's do a ting. And now we're doing a ting. And, you know, I'm a conversationalist. I'm on like 2 weeks with 6 hours sleep, Clayton. He did a show for me a while back at Finn's Pub back in the day. I ran a show at the Forks, and he came out and did a show. Contacted me because a mutual friend said, if you're in Winnipeg and you want to do a show, Nelson's the guy to talk to, and that seems to be the case. So he had a good time last time, and so he asked me again. And I said, let's do this shit. Because if I have an opportunity to help a traveling comic, I'll do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's September 29th at Shannon's Pub. September 29th, that's a Thursday, yes?
Yes.
I have no idea.
That's a Thursday.
Cool. Tickets are $10 and available through you?
Yeah.
Nelson, yes?
Yep.
So, inbox Nelson at facebook.com/Nelson.
Is that a thing? Is that how it works?
I don't know your Facebook login. But yeah, so that'll be it from us on this inaugural podcast for The Unusual Suspects. My name is Clayton T. Stewart.
Nelson Mayer.
Eric Hazelhurst.
Yes.
And we will see you next time.